Hello to all my story lovers. Welcome back in Storytime channel. Today's our story name is Balu's Story, written by the great Sudha Murty. Before we go to the story, please like, share and subscribe. Now let's go to the story. Balu is my cousin. In no way he extraordinary. Yet he is very special to me. That's because he can always see the lighter side of any situation, however difficult. When I talk to him, I feel life is so simple. I have been complicating it unnecessarily. Once, a friend of mine who was working in the bank was transferred to a small village in a forest area. He was worried about his family, children, their education, etc. He could not resign as he would not have got another job at that age. One day, while he had come to my house and was telling me his worries, Balu arrived. He heard the problem and started laughing. If I were you, I would have accepted this happily. You can leave your children with your parents. Grandparents always look after children very well and also teach them better lessons. Is it not true, Sudha? Without waiting for my answer, he continued, of late, your health has not been good. In this city, it is difficult to go for a walk. The congestion and the traffic chokes your throat. The best cure for your problems is to go for a 5 kilometer walk every day. How will you do that here? That's why a village is best place for you. There are trees everywhere and the air is fresh. Take advantage of this situation and enjoy it. Your wife can visit you once a month and you can come here once. That means you will meet your family twice a month. Sometimes it is better to be away from the family for a while as you get lot of more respect. This is my personal experience. Balu finished in hushed tone. My friends certainly look more at ease after listening to Balu's speech. That's why Balu speaks. If somebody fails in the exam, Balu has ready-made consolation. In life, some failures are essential. Repeated success makes a person arrogant, whereas occasional failures are essential to become mature. Have you not heard the famous words? Try and try and try again. You will succeed at last. Don't fail next time. Study now. Parents don't always like this advice of his, but it goes down very well with the students. Another cousin of mine, Prasad, is always complaining. People cheat me a lot. I want to help everybody, but people take advantage of me. Balu was ready with a clever answer. There was a problem who used to complain the whole day, from morning to evening, that he had a headache, a stomach ache, or a leg pain. I asked him, show me where you are aching. He pointed all over his body with a finger. Then I told him, you have a pain in your finger and not in the other parts of the body. Prasad, when you say everyone is cheating you an advantage of you, then you have a problem, not others. Balu is good narrator and once he starts describing something, he forgets the time. That's the reason why he is very popular with children. He exaggerates his stories, is never punctual, but still I enjoy his company. He is not cunning and would never hurt anyone. He can live without food, but not without talking. His children have all grown up now and done well in life. Balu jokes about his too. They have done well because I did not help them in studies. He can laugh as much at himself as at others. Balu has traveled to many places. He has a story to tell about every place he has visited, but I usually take them with a pinch of salt. His son works in the US. When he had a baby, he invited his parents to the US for a year. Before Balu left, the whole village knew he was going abroad. After he came back, he summoned everyone in the village under a big banyan tree and said, I want to describe my experience in the US. Today, going abroad is not anything great, but not too many people from our village had gone. The ones who had gone did not describe their stay there in too many details. They just said, that's different country with different value system. But Balu was not like that. He started describing his stay endlessly from the day he arrived. I knew Balu's natures, so before he went to tell all the villagers his stories under the banyan tree, I said to him, you don't have control on your tongue. Anybody can make out that you are telling a lie. There is a method to describe and a limit to exaggeration. If you want to say some boy is tall and you can say he is perhaps 6 feet 4 inches in height, but you will say the boy is 10 feet tall, which is not possible. People make fun of you. Do not underestimate the villagers. They know about America. They have seen it on TV. Balu did not argue. He said, I agree. But when I start talking, I lose control over my tongue. Exaggeration has become a habit with me. Will you do me a favor? When I start exaggerating, you pull my shirt. Then I will understand. I will correct myself immediately. We agreed. Balu started describing New York City with its tall buildings. But one of the villagers got up and said, we have seen this city many times on TV before 11 September. Don't exaggerate. Tell us something about their methods of agriculture, their fodder, grass, etc. Then we can compare them to our ways. Balu said, oh, I saw their fields and the grass. The grass was almost 5 feet tall. I pulled his shirt. He realized he was talking too much. Immediately he said, no. The grass is very thin. Somebody asked, what do you mean very thin? It was as thin as hair's width. Again I pulled his shirt, but I was so expected that I pulled it very hard and it tore. Balu, for once, did not know what to say, but I could hear people talking. After all, it's Balu's version of America. The real America must be different. Balu's wife is very quiet, which is understandable. If two people talk too much, it can get difficult to live together. Once she was unwell and had a very high fever. Balu talks a lot, but in such a situation, he gets scared easily. He was very worried and called me up. Get a doctor immediately. My wife is running a very high temperature. What do you mean by very high temperature? How much is it? Oh, it must be about 500 degrees. Then you should not call a doctor. You better call a firefighter. Kindly check the thermometer. It must not be more than 106 degrees. Once we were sitting and chatting when a stranger entered. Many people are aware that Infosys Foundation helps students to study further if they do not have the funds. With the help from the foundation, many children have graduated and stood on their own feet. Whenever I am in a village, parents of such children come and see me. After talking to them, if I feel the case is genuine, we help them. This stranger had come with a similar request. I had a detailed talk with him and was convinced his son needed help. I told him, after I go back to my office, I will send you the check. Balu called me aside and said, how can you say that? Do you know what may happen tomorrow? Will you remember your promise? There is a gap between today evening and tomorrow morning. Life is uncertain. Anything can happen. If you want to give anything, you must give him immediately. Time is never in your hands. On the contrary, all of us are living at the mercy of time. Balu, I don't have checkbook with me. That is your mistake. You must carry a checkbook and cash when you travel for this purpose. Many times, poor people may not even have an account in the post office or bank. I always thought Balu was only an uneducated, hilarious comic man. But I was wrong. He taught me a great lesson. When donating, don't think twice or put it off for another day. Nobody has conquered time. Time is not in anybody's hand. This is the end of the story. Do you like it? Then comment it. Subscribe my channel. Bye bye.